It's the world's shortest scary story of all time. It's two sentences, so if you blink or you walk away, you won't hear it.
Hey guys, it's the next morning. Just want to let you guys know for a second, the light that I was using kind of died midway through the video. I tried my best to give me just a little bit of light, but just want to let you guys know I started off really well and then it just kind of slowly died. Couldn't find a charger for it, so it is what it is. I did my best and didn't want to re-record, so enjoy it either way.
Hey guys, it's finally that time of the year. We all know it, we all love it. Well, some of us love it. It is finally October, and as you can see, it's time for your boy to start swagging out in his horror clothes. Everybody has the idea that October is the only real time of the year where we can be spooked, and unfortunately, I don't share that kind of sentiment with them. But what I will do is, as you guys know, I do teach and I do love the aspects of horror. I love video games. I love sharing my loves and passions with you guys. And so, what I plan to do is kind of give you guys a review and kind of share with you some of the stories that I share with my students during this time of the year. As always, I respect where people are coming from. So, if you don't feel the need to listen to scary things, or if this isn't the kind of video that you would like to hear, if you guys would check the other videos out, there's going to be something that you like in the other videos under my channel. So if you would take a second, pause the video if you're not ready to be spooked out, and check out some other videos. Now, without further ado, I gave you a chance to get out of here. I'm going to share with you each week the videos that I share with my students, exactly how I say it in class and exactly how it's meant to be told. Just like we did in olden times. Let's get our flashlight in. First story. It's the world's shortest scary story of all time. It's two sentences, so if you blink or you walk away, you won't hear it. Sentence number one. You are the last living thing on earth. Take that in for a second, guys, and really picture it. You are the last living thing on earth. There was a knock at your door. Some of these stories are going to be better than others, but that, if you really think about it, it's terrifying enough that you are the only living thing left on Earth, and there was a knock at your door. Story number two needs a little bit of a setup, needs a little bit of emphasis on. I try to tell scary stories that have to do with not only current events, but deal with things to warn the students and have actually real life repercussions. So be careful. There's many different variations of the story, but without further ado, story number two is titled Stranger Danger. This story is set in the early 2000s where a son by the name of Jeremy was home alone and his dad was on a business trip traveling by train. They were going on conversations, and Jeremy's dad has done this multiple times. It's something that he's used to by now. And so Jeremy's dad, being a nice guy that he was texting his son, making sure that he's doing all of his chores, making sure he got all of his homework done, making sure he's gotten every little thing that he could get done completed. And finally, after answering all the questions, Jeremy was finally like, "Yes, Dad. Yeah, I've gotten everything done. You don't have to worry about it." And so while they were talking throughout the night, Jeremy's dad knew it was getting ready for him to get ready for bed. And just for old time's sake, he asked Jeremy, "Hey, would you like me to tell you a story?" And Jeremy, knowing that his dad was being nice, but at the same time, he was like, "Dad, these stories don't really scare me anymore. I'm not a little kid." And so Jeremy's dad kind of took offense to it. He was a little bit hurt that Jeremy didn't want to hear this story from him. Dad's like, "Well, I guess it's for the best. It's more of an adult story than it is anything else. So I guess it's best that you didn't say yes because I didn't want to scare you too much." And this kind of intrigued Jeremy. It intrigued him for a second. He said, "Well, no, If I haven't heard it, I want to hear it, Dad. If you think it's that scary, please, by all means. Jeremy's dad makes sure, are you sure you can handle it? Do you think it'll be too much? And Jeremy, of course, says, Dad, come on, I'm not a little kid. Jeremy's dad proceeds to tell him the story of this kid named Jonathan. Jonathan, just like every other kid in the early 2000s, started coming home and using the internet more and more. For you guys who are born after the early 2000s, AIM was American Instant Messenger. It was kind of like Snapchat, Instagram DMs for people without pictures. Some people would do chat rooms, some people would send private messages to one another. It's a way for people, kids, teenagers, and just random people to connect together. Jonathan would join these random message boards and go into group chats, but he didn't really do anything but join those messengers and group chats. He would look at people, he would kind of get a feel for the same people that would come in and out, in and out. And eventually, he came across this person with a screen name who was Stranger Danger. After a little bit of time, Jonathan realized that this person claimed to be a female around the same age as him. And actually, he decided to take a chance and private message this person. As Jonathan and this person started talking, he realized that her name was Jessica. And Jonathan and Jessica became to have a friendship. And they would come home after school, they would talk, log in every single day and talk more and more to where they were getting on a level of personal information. And so Jonathan decides to ask where she lived, not her exact address, just the town that she was in. And Jessica claims that she lived in a town about 30 minutes away. Now, this kind of piqued Jonathan's interest because he didn't realize that she would be so close. After a little bit of time, they keep talking. Weeks turns into months. And so Jonathan starts to have this infatuation with Jessica. He feels like she's easy to talk to. She's easy to get to know. She's someone that he wants to continue to talk to more than just a friend. Well, after a little bit of time, Jessica realized that after they were talking, it's a couple days before Jonathan's birthday. Nonchalantly, she just asked, Hey, Jonathan, I was thinking about you at the mall today. I decided to get this hat that, I knew you would like because we've talked about certain things and it even has your favorite game. I was wondering if I could have your address to send it to you. Jonathan's parents have talked to him about making sure that everything online has its own anonymity and no one knows exactly where they live. It's okay to talk about the town, talk about all that stuff, but he knew something just wasn't right about giving her his exact address. At the end of the conversation, he just says, Jessica, I'm sorry. My parents wouldn't feel comfortable with me giving you the address. So I'm gonna, I can't tell you right now, but maybe later, maybe sometimes we can meet up and go from there. Jessica not really making a big deal about things. She said, okay, it's fine. It's not a big deal. I'll keep the hat until you're ready, or maybe I'll just start wearing it. Jonathan kind of felt bad, and you could tell that Jessica was a little upset, but he did the right thing and they both logged out. Jessica had to kind of leave, and then a couple of days passed, and finally Jonathan says to Jessica, You know what? This is my address. I would love to have your gift for my birthday. Why don't you go ahead and send it to me? Even though this went against all the teachings that his parents had, Jonathan thought it was a nice gesture for Jessica to give him the hat. Well, immediately after Jessica got the address, she said that her dad needed some help and she logs out. A day or two passes, and Jonathan, he kind of felt bad betraying his parents' trust, but at the same time, he was excited to see Jessica's gift. They were talking nonstop still, and Jessica never really mentioned the hat again because, Jonathan thought it was in the mail. His birthday come and passed, they would still talk, but Jonathan didn't want to say anything to Jessica about not getting his hat yet. He just thought that it was still in the mail and he didn't want to seem rude. A couple of days pass by, Jessica's not online, and Jonathan gets to thinking, and it kind of eats at him that he betrayed his parents' trust. Finally, one night, about a week after his birthday passed, Jonathan, feeling a little sick from the guilt, finally breaks down at the table and tells his mom and dad that he's upset that he lied to his parents. He's upset that he betrayed their trust. He's even upset that the girl that he likes, her gift didn't come and he doesn't know what to do. And immediately the dad and mom start yelling at him. They get in this big confrontation at the table, and they tell Jonathan to go to bed, grounding him because how dare he allow someone to get their address, and not only that, but possibly put his family in danger. Jonathan goes upstairs. They take his games away, they take his TV away, they take the computer away. And that night, Jonathan goes to bed early. A couple hours later, he's awoken by thunder. There's a nice big storm going on outside. Lightning lights up his room. He can hear the rainfall, but the thunder's what really woke him up. He goes to turn on his light, and the power's out. He gets up to go out of his room, but right when he stands up, his parents open the door and his dad leans his head in and says, "Hey, son, I just want to tell you that your mom and I would love you. That even though we're upset, we understand where you're coming from, but you got to be safe with things that go on online. You never know who you're exactly talking to." And Jonathan sits there and he sits back down on the bed and he's like, "Dad, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to betray your trust." And so he gets up to walk towards the dad and takes a step. And mom, underneath dad's head, pokes her head in and says, "Hey, sweetie, just want to tell you we love you, that we're sorry we yelled at you, we're sorry we got in a fight, but you have to understand that your dad and I are looking out for you when we say this stuff." Jonathan, getting a little teary eyed, getting a little choke up, said, "I know, Mom, I love you too. And I just want to give you guys a hug before bed because I'm sorry for all the things I did. I'm sorry for betraying your trust." And as Jonathan took a step towards the door, he heard a thud. And he looks down. He can't really make out what just happened. Lightning struck behind him. And when he looked down, he heard another thud. And as he walked a little closer to the two things, he realized it's his parents' heads decapitated in the middle of his room. Jonathan screams and looks up. And what he sees is the outline of a serial killer who's straggly haired. He's got a knife. And he sits there and he walks in and he says, "There's a reason why my name's Stranger Danger." And he proceeds to stab Jonathan over and over, brutally murdering him in the middle of his bedroom, stabbing him over 20 times. As Jonathan dies on the floor, the man stands up and smiles and turns to walk away. He starts walking down the hallway that he crept up the staircase to. And as he's about to proceed to go down the staircase, he hears a cry in the other room. The man turns around, walks to the bedroom, and sees an infant in his crib. Baby screaming, and just then the man looks over the crib with the knife and realizes that he can't kill an infant. That child's done nothing wrong in the world, and there's nothing that he can do to make himself do that. And it wouldn't be fair for this child to have to go through life with the horrors of what happened to his family. His mom, dad brutally murdered, his brother giving away his address to make something happen to the entire family. So as the killer looked at the child, at the baby, he picked it up and realized he's going to keep it for himself. And as he walked out, he took one look back to grab a blanket and the baby's favorite stuffed animal sleeping right beside it. And above it, the baby's name was Jeremy. Jeremy's dad took a second on the phone, took a breath, and Jeremy goes, "Dad, that was a really, really messed up story. I didn't even know you had that in you. What? How why were your stories so bad before and now you're telling me this?" And he goes, "Well, son, I know it's coming up to be your birthday. I figured you're starting to become a young man. Maybe you can handle some more scary things." Jeremy's like, "Well, that was crazy. That's an awesome story, Dad, but why did you use my name as the young kid's name in the story?" Just then, Jeremy took a long pause and Dad did as well. And all you heard was, before Dad gets ready to hang up, he says, "Jeremy, I love you. You're my son. I'll see you very soon." The end. I guess that's it for the scary stories. Hope you enjoyed them. Sorry, my light kind of died out in the middle of it, but I didn't want to stop it. I keep opening up my iPad. So if you hear that noise, that's what that was. Two really, really kind of creepy stories. The first one, not as creepy as some of the ones. Not as creepy as some of the ones that I will tell, but it still has its own little thing. It had like a kind of Twilight feel. Second one, I always love telling that story. I love when people start to figure out in the class, like they start figuring out, okay, where's it going? And then finally they see that, oh man, maybe Jeremy's dad's the one that was the serial killer. Maybe he was just really trying to scare Jeremy. The interpretation's open for everyone, but I really like The fact that it open ends and you have to decide for yourself what it is. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed these 2 scary stories. I hope to bring you more, definitely during the time of Halloween. I'm going to go watch some scary movies myself right now. Hope you guys have a great day, a great week, a great month, and a great year. Make sure to check the other videos around. I do have some scary videos, I do have some funny videos, mostly gameplays. I'll be around every now and then. This is my favorite time of the year, so hopefully I'll bring you more of these. But just always remember, guys, be safe. I'm going to let the outro take it here. See you next week.